In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 5 of Yellowstone's 5th season titled Watch 'Em Right Away. This is a very heavy, family-oriented Dutton episode, and it's really interesting because we learned that the initial round of branding in what way is that it's the spring gathering in Montana, and the episode starts off where Josh Lucas's character in a flashback, who plays a young John Dutton for Kevin Costner, it's kind of when all the cattle that have been out grazing are brought together through certain operations as a team where, you know, they gather them. But now in the essence of, in the present, there is a forest fire happening, and, you know, they have to get the cattle just, you know, to get them to safety far away. Now, in the episode, it's really Rip and Beth heavy. Like, we see the flashback that happened between Rip and Beth. Not only that, this season is really, really heavy on Rip and Beth, and I'm really curious and kind of afraid to see what's going to happen to one of those characters. Will something happen to Rip or Beth? But if something does happen to one of them, it's going to change the course of how this show goes for the foreseeing future. Now, this season is 14 episodes. Episodes 1 through 7 are part 1, and then the rest of the episodes are part 2. Now, not only that, Summer is at the ranch as well, and she still has the beef with Beth, and Beth doesn't like Summer being there. Beth kind of, in a way, tells her father, listen, they're only there for the land. This is it. Nothing else is going to change. Now, in anticipation of this whole spring gathering, John calls Casey, and Monica and Tate come to join the gathering. They kind of have a family dinner, and, you know, Rip, Beth are sitting in their little area, but then John comes and says, we're all going to eat together as a family, and then Summer just starts going off about certain animals that were killed with the meat because she's a vegetarian, and then Beth and Summer have an all-out girls fight, and probably one of the craziest and most fun scenes I've ever watched in a series, especially for Yellowstone. Like, Beth and Summer just go at it by beating the ever-loving shit out of each other, and Rip is like telling John, like, you know what's going to happen, and John's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it already is happening. Rip goes out and just watches them go at it and kind of gives them a pep talk, kind of in a way where it's like back and forth, like, you're here for this reason, you're here for this reason. And it's just interesting and great to see. Like, Beth is standing her ground, and while Summer's trying to stand her own ground. But Beth kind of, you know, has an interesting fact, like, it's my house, you know, you pay me some respect, which is very, very true. Now, the resentment that these two have is unimaginable and unmatched because it's a mutual resentment, but they kind of like each other, but then they don't. You know, after you beat the shit out of someone, of course you're going to have, you know, great, interesting aspects to everything. Now, the fun thing about this episode was that it was really done really well. People are like, oh God, nothing's happening. It's so boring. The pacing is there, blah, blah, blah. That's not the whole point of what Yellowstone is. The writing is exceptional. It's really done really well. The way things are, you know, kind of mentioned, the way things are explained is interesting. How John tells Summer about the birth of a newborn being so where, you know, certain things of strangers and being in your own environment. Really interesting. Not only that, John has his secretary, because he's governor, kind of, you know, go on the ride with him, and she goes because she's done this before. She has to bring certain things, and she kind of convinces John to, you know, take up 2 weeks of meetings in one afternoon, and he's like, okay, let's get it done. Not only that, we have Jamie and the other aspect with the character that he's sleeping with, this new, you know, thing, and, you know, he's still a weak character, but his scene is only, I want to say, 30 seconds to 1 minute long, and that's it. The interesting aspect of this season is that we're seeing how the camaraderie is between the family. Family is getting closer in a certain way. Casey and Monica are still reeling with the death of their unborn child. John is still trying to maneuver being governor. Summer is there. I'm pretty sure she doesn't understand why she's still there, and she can't leave because of a certain reason. And, you know, with Rip and Beth, what's going to happen? Like, everything with the characters in the bunkhouse, Jamie, like, what's going to happen with certain characters and aspects. It's really, really fun to see. Not only that, John talks to Rip after dinner and says that, You know, when the first Duttons laid their groundwork on this land, you know, they took this land and they mentioned, and so it's really interesting how it's a callback to 1883 and probably even 1923, the new series that's starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Uh, I love the show. I love the show. It's a spitfire. It's fun. It's great. It's interesting, and I'm curious to see where it leads and what's going to happen. Fifth episode already. This season's going by really fast, and hopefully that, you know, that somehow, some way we get an aspect of there's a shocking thing that happens in the story, but who knows? Maybe it's like a quiet thing. How much of a time jump will there be with these 14 episodes in total for this fifth season? And is there going to be a sixth season? A lot of questions still to be answered, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 5 of Yellowstone's fifth season, titled Watch 'Em Right Away. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Do you like the storyline aspect? Did you like that we were more focused this time on the ranch, that it was all about the family? And what did you think about the Beth and Summer fight scene? Do you think it's the best girl fight you've ever seen on TV? And where do you think their friendship or their mutual resentment is going to go? And what do you see happening to every single character? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 6 review of Yellowstone's 5th season.